Welcome back to the pregame. Time now for our talk with Coach Butch Pedersen, brought to you by Hodge Construction. And Coach, start off week one, 17-8 final score, pick up a big win over Tipton. Good way to start this season.
It certainly was. We had a lot of young kids. We started 17 new starters that night, and they responded a little lethargic at times, which is to be expected in the first game of the year. But I thought overall we played extremely hard.
Well, one of those, and we didn't really talk about it a lot last week, but that offense Tipton has. So many different assignments. The defense really tested. With a lot of those new faces in there, you were able to do a pretty good job of keeping them in check most of the night.
Yeah, they had 201 yards, and you hold a team to a couple hundred yards, that's a pretty good night. And we had one mishap in the secondary, which has been worked on this week. And but overall, pretty good job on the defensive part. Offensively, I thought we did some things very well. We threw the ball very well, and we didn't show a lot of run things that we're going to run this week.
Well, speaking of some of those new faces, what did you think from seeing them and their response to now getting their first taste of that varsity action?
Well, I think once they have the first hit in a ball game, you usually get better thereafter, and I thought that's what happened. Some of the kids who really hadn't been hitting that hard in practice laid the meat to some people, and that was good to see.
It's always a good feeling to do it to somebody else, that's
Absolutely.
for sure. So you mentioned that offense, and looking for that consistency. The thing I was impressed with, it just felt like a very workmanlike, methodical. I think we had a scoring drive of 7 or 8 plays, a scoring drive of 15 plays, and just kept chipping things away and being very comfortable out there.
And I think when you do that, you're taking away the clock and their opportunity to have the football, and that's kind of what we've done for many years. Is we want to control the football, we want to move it through the pass or the run. We don't really care, but we want to control that ball and have good field position.
The thing that we noticed most of the night Friday is the momentum. It's always such a big thing, the emotions, especially with the high school kids. And it felt like anytime we would do something, Tipton would respond. Tipton would get a big play, we would respond. What's that say about the mental toughness of these guys, that they were able to respond accordingly and find a way to come out with the win?
Well, they got big hearts. This is that simple. They're young, but they got big hearts and they're hungry. They want to get better, and they're going to get better. And Tipton's a good football team. Don't take anything away from them. And we responded, and we did the things that we had to do in order to win the football game.
Well, special teams-wise, Cale, a couple of extra points. He threw the field goal in there as well to get the scoring started. Some good kickoffs, good coverage as well, and then the punting game. That field position really played a factor in that game.
I thought our special teams were outstanding. I thought they did a lot of really good things. Cale's a lot stronger kicker this year than he was a year ago, and the punting game was fine. So we have all 3 prongs right now. We're working on all 3 of those, and we're going to get better each and every week. And these first 2 games are going to be something that we want to prepare for and get as good as we can possibly be, because that first district game against Cascade will be tough. But we're looking at West Liberty now. It's a rivalry. We had it for a long, long time, and we're anxious to go down to West Liberty and see what we can do.
Yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere down there. They picked up a big win. And talk about mental toughness, they scored twice in the last probably 3 or 4 minutes of that game to come away with the victory at Mediapolis. So that this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out Friday night.
Oh, they're very talented. They're a 2A school. They should be favored. They're a lot bigger than we are. But we always, work hard in this game, and they do too. So it should be a fun game for both crowds.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it, Coach. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's our talk with Coach Butch Pedersen, brought to you by Hodge Construction. We'll be back with more of the pregame right after this. This is the Bearcast at westbranchfootball.com.